Hello and welcome to All Angles. I'm Giovanni Dennis sitting in for Dion Jackson Miller. The passage of Hurricane Beryl and the ensuing issues relating to recovery and the restoration of electricity has once again placed the spotlight on Light and Power Company, the Jamaica Public Service. There have been widespread criticisms about 1. JPS missed deadlines for full restoration in parts of Jamaica, primarily in St. Elizabeth. 2. Estimated bills as many Jamaicans struggle to rebuild after Beryl, even as many were and remain without power after the disaster. And 3, the latest concern, increased electricity bills. The Energy Minister has been leading the charge in his call for JPS to do better and also expressing dissatisfaction with how JPS is being regulated by the Office of Utilities Regulation, OUR. Now, we'll hear from him a little later. We'll also hear from the opposition spokesman on energy, Philip Paulwell. But first, concerns, complaints and protests about high electricity bills are nothing new. Here's an overview. Protests about high light bills from the Jamaica Public Service Company are not new. 2008 in St. Catherine. October 2010 in Seaview Gardens, residents were upset over high light bills following the installation of new automated residential metering system. July 2011. August 2011. Protesters dressed in black to protest against high light bills. This from the Gleaner.
They're bringing this new system and coming like a rat them a rap with. We can't eat food. You have sick people, can't even get them own medicine. No, come on now, man. They have to do something. JPS need a competition, far competition they need. They need it. It's 1,600 a week. You can't buy food, you can't buy medicine. The high job for 5,000 the high job. You can't buy medicine for the body, you can't buy food.
Also, in August 2011, talk of a commission of inquiry into JPS's billing practices. That never happened. In March 2020, the JPS defended its billing practices.
The Jamaica Public Service Company JPSCO is defending its billing rates for fuel. It follows claims that lower oil prices are not being reflected on electricity bills. Chief Financial Officer at JPS, Vernon Douglas, addressed the issue at a digital town hall meeting over the weekend.
We do use a combination of oil and natural gas as key inputs into the production of electricity, or electricity that we buy. To the extent that those prices have changed downwards, that is something that flows through monthly on all electricity bills as a standard, as part of the fuel and IPP charges. That's a straight cost pass-through to customers. So when those charges trend downwards, it's immediately passed through to all customers in a transparent basis.
In June 2020, JPS officials were summoned to cabinet. Here's Vashan Brown.
The Jamaica Public Service Company JPS has been summoned to appear before cabinet to answer questions regarding complaints of exorbitant light bills. Minister of Energy Favour Williams this morning told Radio Jamaica News that the matter was discussed at yesterday's meeting of the cabinet. JPS representatives will make a presentation at Monday's meeting of the cabinet.
This has been communicated to JPS. So the cabinet will have a chance to interrogate the company in terms of the information that they have received, the complaints that they have received, and what would be the action that will be taken going forward.
In July 2020, a group of customers protested against what they said was a lack of transparency in JPS's billing. Here's Dwayne Anderson.
It was not the usual quiet Saturday morning at the Jamaica Public Service Company JPSCO's New Kingston headquarters. This small gathering of Jamaicans took a message to the company, which has become a big problem in their lives.
JPS charging customer for light that they don't use. You understand? So I'm here this morning to voice my concern.
Decided to take their time, their money, their energy and come out and make a statement. And the statement ultimately is we feel that we're being disadvantaged by the present arrangements that obtain in the sector. Arrangements not just from JPS, arrangements including Petrojam and the way our gas bills are arrived at.
Some of the protesters' signs took jabs at the company. Other signs asked more pointed questions of the JPS, like this one, which read, "You do not share your profits with me. Why should I share your losses?" That question has become a sticking point for paying JPS customers after the company admitted that persons with legal connections have been helping to cover JPS's losses from stolen electricity.
Kelisha Williams explains what led to that protest.
Like Susie get catch for bypass the meter.
So how comes them catch her? And how come them catch her? How come she do it?
Now it's JPS customers who are asking the utility company how come. It all started with this tweet from @myJPS online Twitter account. Losses incurred due to illegal activity is shared between JPS and all our customers. Unfortunately, a line item on the JPS bill is not reflective of this specific charge. Social media went into a frenzy, with some users blasting the utility company for giving persons, especially those in inner-city communities, a gate pass to steal electricity. The company responded. The sad thing is that in Jamaica, few people pay taxes. Many cheat customs, steal from Flow, Digicel, NWC, and JPS. Just think how much lower your income or property tax would be if everyone paid their share. It's not a garrison issue. It's a cultural problem. But this response evoked anger. Some users even questioned the authenticity of the account. It said, "A lot of methods have been employed to battle electricity theft. And whilst we hear your suggestion, it is way more complex than it seems. There are entire communities that are not legal customers. Do we go in and remove all their connections and destabilize homes?" Speaking on Power 106's Morning Agenda today, Director of Corporate Communications and Customer Experience at the JPS, Winsome Callum, confirmed that some of the company's losses are passed on to customers.
Well, right now, the customers actually pay for about approximately 20% of the theft or overall losses, as we call it. You have technical losses and non-technical losses, and the customers actually pay for about 20% of that. The total amount of losses that we're looking at now is about 27%. So JPS absorbs about 6 to 7%, and the customers, the other 20% is spread across.
The company also took to Facebook in a live meeting Friday evening to answer questions from the public.
In oil has risen. It was never included in your responses, especially on social media, until this day, right? Say there is a line of omission where we're not putting in the part where we not pay for people with bridge light.
I accept that, Rohan.
Correct.
We have not explicitly said this is the extent to which you are paying for theft.
Ms. Callum further explained that customers bearing a portion of losses is not new to Jamaica. But what is the company doing?
We go into communities every single day. Right across this country, we are pulling down illegal lines.
In May 2021, protests came from Manchester. Here's O'Shane Masters.
My bill for March was 13,000 and mash. April bill was 15,000. This month I was taxed for 35,000.
Dramatic changes in their electricity bills, the reality of residents of Alligator Pond in South Manchester. They are now livid with the power company over the sudden changes in their monthly bills. Residential and commercial customers who spoke with our news team say they have received bills reflecting an increase in excess of 100% and in a few cases a decrease.
The light bill is very high, and a whole lot of people have the same problem. I usually pay like 15,000. Now it gone at $21,575. People are balling out. Poor people can't take in no more JPS. You need to do something for the poor. Stop rob the poor.
Also, in May 2021, the Office of Utilities Regulation, OUR, expressed concern about the company's billing practices. Here's Janella Perseus.
The utilities regulator has issued a directive to the JPS to start submitting quarterly reports on data on meter readings for residential customers whose bills are 30% higher or lower than the average previous readings. A news release today from the OUR said the report should also include the methods employed by the JPS to notify customers of any significant variance in their consumption. The exception reports should be submitted to the OUR 20 working days after the end of every quarter.
And now, this latest round of outrage following high bills after the passage of Hurricane Beryl. So, are the current complaints justified, and do you even understand how to read your monthly JPS bill? When we come back, we'll break things down for you as best we can. Remember, our hashtag is TVJ All Angles. Stay with us. Soon come.